My name is Pedro Ramirez. I'm the sales director for the US and Canadian market for FlightTech. We've been a master distributor for Ubiquiti UniFi for 15 years or more. So now I just want to introduce Andrew Pieper with Ubiquiti UniFi, and he's going to be our presenter for today.
All right. Thanks, Pedro. Thanks for the introduction, and thanks everyone for being here today. My name is Andrew. Just to introduce myself real quick. I have been with Ubiquiti since 2015. Worked into several different capacities. Worked a lot, mainly with our UniFi line. I used to be our support lead for all UniFi wireless, and this is always a great opportunity. I like to get a chance to meet with customers, especially FlightTech's customers in this case. And today I'm excited about this AI topic. This is a new, of course, UniFi's had AI detections for some time, but we've really launched some new products recently that have changed the landscape of AI in UniFi, and we're very unique in this space. Some of you may work with other physical security, other camera security platforms out there. We're unique in how we do our AI. Let me just mention, some of the other ways that we are eliminating some traditional IT pain points. So we're license free, so we have no recurring license fees. We make our software really actionable, so it's easy to identify potential improvements in your network or deployment, and when there's a problem, be able to identify that quickly and resolve it. We also offer exceptional ease of use, so our product's really easy and simple, and it makes it quick and easy to learn the product. We also, for those more experienced people out there, our products offer advanced functionalities and features that empower you and make your job more efficient. And of course, we're very scalable. Whether it's one site or across 10,000 individual sites, we allow you to scale to whatever scale you need. So our site manager, as I mentioned, is this kind of central place of management where you go to manage all your deployments. From here, you can launch into any individual site you've deployed. If you work with a customer in New York, for instance, you deploy a full stack deployment. The site manager is where you go to manage these devices. We offer hybrid architecture. So what's unique about us is the cloud. We talk a lot about the cloud, right? But we're different than a lot of other vendors out there. We're not requiring that you manage all your devices in a cloud server. However, we create a tunnel through a locally hosted device, and we create a secure tunnel by which you can access all your deployments from any location. So this means if you're on vacation, you get a call from one of your customers saying their internet's down, all you have to do is open up your site manager or open up the UniFi app, troubleshoot the problem, and get them on their way, regardless of, you don't even have to leave the beach, right? So that's the goal here with the hybrid architecture. Beyond networking, we have our networking application that we're constantly improving the software management experience, and these can all be managed through these UniFi consoles. We also, through the same integrated interface, we have the ability to manage Protect, our video security platform we'll be talking about today. Also, a physical security door access control with UniFi Access. As well as our Talk platform. We just released our G3 Talk product, and we also offer some digital signage devices, EV chargers with UniFi Connect, as well as we just released our first NAS device with the UNAS Pro. So we are ever expanding these verticals that we create a solution for in the IT space. Our goal is to be this end-to-end provider for all these different solutions that you have to manage in the IT environment. So our goal is to basically consolidate all these benefits and cost savings and make it and offer the same kind of quality experience no matter which product you're using. So let's talk about Protect. A few things to note. Basically, the way the system deployment works in Protect, we're just going to talk about how everything's set up. In Protect, we have the central MVR device. Typically, if you're doing a large deployment, you're going to manage all your cameras and store their footage on one of our MVR models. These DVR units they store the record footage, and there's additional processing done on this device to be able to do things like timestamp events and detections and things like that. We also have these cloud gateways we offer that are integrated MVR with a router. In some cases, of course, you may not need a full MVR. If say you'll have only a handful of cameras, you'll see here that regardless of what size, we have options here for you. So you can use our UCG Max, which is it's all-in-one device that can even act as an MVR. So if you have only a handful of cameras, this works great for small business or residential. But as you go up and other options. We also offer the Dream Machine Pro Max with its 2 hard drive bays. So at that point, when you start getting up to a dozen cameras, depending on what the retention requirements are with Protect, you may require additional hard drive bays. In which case, it makes sense to go with one of our NVR. So these devices, NVRs, are standalone consoles that manage both Protect and Access. So the whole physical security platform can be managed on these NVRs, whether it be Access or Protect. And there's some really nice integrations that come from using those side by side. But we offer everything from a 4 hard drive bay option with the UNVR to a 7 hard drive bay option with the UNVR Pro and a 16 hard drive bay option with the ENVR. And what's great about this, we also release, I'll talk about in a minute, about Vantage Point. We released Vantage Point, which provides the ability to manage multiple of these devices across multiple sites into one dashboard. So you can have even, you look here, you can see this supports 210 plus HD cameras on each one of these devices. You can have a Vantage Point instance that bridges 5 different ENVRs into one dashboard. And one management plane, that means over 1,000 cameras in one dashboard. So that's pretty awesome what you can do. That allows us to reach a scale we could never reach before in the past. And now with the MVR, we're able to reach whatever scale you need for Protect deployments or Access deployments. We've got you covered. Most deployments, I think the UNVR or the UNVR Pro will be sufficient for most deployments people will be doing here. But we also have our cloud key for those cases where you're not doing a gateway device. You want a standalone Protect deployment, but very small scale. The Cloud Key Gen 2 Plus can work for that as well. So that's another option. I do recommend typically that you go with the cloud gateways up to 8, 10, 12 cameras, up to 16 even with the Pro Max. But once you start getting to that point, I recommend start making the move over to the UNVR if you exceed that limit. So you have more hard drive bays for storage, and it allows you to be more creative with how you store and what kind of detection events that you store and what resolution you store them at. So that gives you an overview of those options that you have to manage the Protect software. Just what the architecture looks like. You can see here we have basically the architecture works where we have this internet access that you can use with our site manager to access all your deployments. It creates a secure tunnel to the internet into the cloud gateway and consoles here. And here you can manage that Protect and Access software. And then using our PoE switching, you can power both your surveillance devices as well as your door access. And that includes everything from AI cameras, floodlights, sensors, gate hubs, readers, elevator hubs. This is a really full-featured physical security platform at this point. So this Vantage Point. So this is the feature that you can use for the site manager. You can join together multiple NVR installs into one dashboard. This can be helpful if you're scaling beyond one ENVR on one site, or if you're going across multiple sites. And say you have a customer with 5 different locations. One of those is going to have a cloud key. One of those is going to have an ENVR. One is going to have an NVR Pro. You can bridge all those deployments into one viewing dashboard. So if there's a security team that's monitoring this, it can all be managed through one interface. So that's a really nice feature that we offer. Setup is really easy, and with our mobile app, you can really manage and look at your camera feeds and access the things like smart detections, AI events, very, very easily. So just an overview of our camera portfolio. We've released a lot of new cameras recently, especially AI cameras. You'll see this AI turret and this AI dome here. The AI dome is, I think, one of the best form factors that we have, the most professional looking form factors that we offer on Protect. This looks a far call from our UniFi incident. This definitely looks like it's commercial. It's ready for whatever commercial application, whether it's in a school, an airport, whatever. These are the type of camera models that inspire confidence. These devices are unique in that they have a micro SD card slot on these, and they can actually record footage locally. So in the event that there was a theft of the NVR solution, first of all, you can back up footage onto cloud storage, but you can also have this micro SD in each of these new AI cameras that will have a backup, so that even if the NVR was stolen, you'd have additional footage, unless they went and pulled that out of every single one of those cameras. Which, if they have that much time on their hands and they're stealing your stuff, you got other problems, right? Hopefully we find that before then. But this is a nice thing for compliance purposes. A lot of environments require multiple storage of events, and this gives you the ability to fulfill that requirement. We also have these other models here for dome turrets, the AI 360, which is a really nice, very wide angle, 360 panoramic view. We also had that with the AI event detections and everything. We also offer on our G5 line the G5 Dome, the G5 Turret Ultra, and the G5 Dome Ultra. And these two camera models, I think, are also very important that we launched within the last year. This is a very economical way to scale out cameras for a large deployment. So if you have a customer site that wants 40 cameras, let's say they want they want to install 40 cameras. If you go with all of their G5 Pros, that's going to add up to a lot of money. By going with these G5 Turret Ultras as the kind of the base unit, these are a 129, I believe, 129 MSRP for the Dome Ultra and the Turret Ultra. And if you use these cameras, you can scale up much easier. And then kind of situationally add on these AI Dome or AI Turret maybe at the point of entry that give you some added security, added features that you need at those locations. So we have a much better portfolio and it's much more well-rounded than it has been in the past. And I think it's a really good time to invest more in the platform. We also have a few other, we just released our AI LPR. So on our UniFi Access platform, we have a gate hub that can be used to manage physical access to gates in parking lots or in a residential gate. What's great about this camera is it's really optimized for recognizing license plates and pulling that off. All of our AI cameras can do license plate reading. Any of the AI cameras can, and then with the use of the AI port, any other of the G5 cameras or even OnViv cameras can do license plate reading. But what's different about the AI LPR is it's specifically optimized for this purpose, and really at nighttime you'll see a huge benefit in going with the AI LPR. Basically, the contrast when you're looking at a car at nighttime and approaching with a lot of cameras, it'll struggle to pull off the license plate when there's these very bright flash, these bright headlights in play. What you'll see with the AI LPR is that those headlights will be very faint, and you can very easily pull off the ID on those license plates, even whenever a car is moving pretty fast. So I recommend the use of the AI LPR mainly at locations where the primary function is going to be license plate reading and license plate detection. So this would be a perfect pair with our gate hub. So if you're going to have an access install at a gate hub, you have one of these AI LPRs as a car approaches. Even at nighttime or daytime, whatever, it's going to automatically pull up that license plate. If it's set to open when that license plate approaches, they don't have to swipe a card or anything. The gate's going to automatically open up when it identifies the license plate. So that's a really nice feature, and one that I think a lot of people are a benefit that a lot of people see by using UniFi Access and UniFi Protect together. We also offer these other models. I won't go into much more on this. I think you guys can check it out on our website for more information. I will just highlight this G5 PTZ. This is a really cool camera that we're seeing a lot of demand for. These devices are very small. I mean, for having a PTZ camera like this, it's very affordable as well, low cost, and pan, tilt, and zoom, and it does things like can follow the movement, and it can also turn on a spotlight at nighttime. And it has integrated microphone, and it's outdoor ready and everything. So this is a great PTZ camera for a lot of different applications. I'll note just with the AI port, which I'll talk about in a minute, you can convert these G5 PTZ cameras into an AI camera that has PTZ on it. So that's just an example use case where maybe you want something specific function set that's not on an AI camera currently. With the use of the AI port, you can convert any camera into an AI camera or a third-party camera. The last thing I'll just mention is these compact cameras. You'll recognize all of these. The AI Theta cameras are really nice for low profile installs. You can have them recess mounted to where all you see is the lens. This can be nice for a place where you want a very unnoticeable cameras installed. So if you have like in a museum or something, you want a low profile option for surveillance, this is a great option. It takes only a very small space up, and then it can give you those AI events and do facial recognition and all that with 4K. And with these different lens options, it's a really good option. So that rounds out all the camera models. Of course, if we have questions about this, I'll have time to answer questions later. But let me know if there are anything that comes up. We have the Q&A section here that you can ask questions in. Let's talk about OnViv camera support. So within the last year, we just rolled out OnViv support. I don't know if everyone here knows that. Basically, what this means is OnViv is a standard used in video security for third-party cameras to be able to be managed across different applications. Basically, opens up if you buy a Axis camera or a Hikvision camera, and let's say you have I think this is really helpful for selling UniFi Protect, because in the past, if you wanted to deploy UniFi Protect at a customer site, if they already had cameras up, the idea was the only way that you're going to manage those cameras on this MVR is going to be if you pull them all out and replace them with UniFi Protect cameras. As you know, that's not realistic. In many cases, customers might want to add on 10 cameras while keeping their existing camera set and gradually transition to UniFi Protect. You now have that option with OnVIF support. So with no additional devices or licenses required, you can manage any OnVIF compatible camera with UniFi Protect. This is really cool and has some cool use cases I'll talk about in a minute, but we can actually, it only does basic recording currently with these third-party cameras, but with the use of an AI port, we can convert any of these devices into an AI camera as if it was an AI, like an AI Pro. This AI port product is really important. We just released this recently. It converts any third-party camera or non-AI camera on our UniFi portfolio, like the G5 PTZ, and adds on AI detection, classification, and facial recognition capabilities. This means license plate reading. This means facial recognition. And what I'll note here is that the important thing about the AI port is that this is the only way that you're going to convert those third-party cameras into giving them those AI detection events. And this is going to be an important question I think a lot of you are going to have, which is what's the difference between the AI port and the AI key? Well, I'll explain that. So the AI port basically converts any camera to be a real-time AI to generate real-time AI events. Whereas the AI key, you install this on your network or on your deployment, and basically what this does is it augments the capability of the MVR or whatever you're managing your devices on, and does its own AI processing on this device. This device goes through all footage or detection events, and we'll go ahead and add tags on those to allow for searches using natural language. I'll show you what that's like, but I can search for, a man with a red shirt, and then I get a list of all those detection events on my site that have a man with a red shirt on them. This can be really helpful in an environment like a grocery store or a convenience store, where maybe you get a report of a theft and need help combing through this footage. That's going to be very difficult to do. And what's great is when you identify someone that's maybe stolen something, and you figured out, what they look like, you can actually use that same criteria to search for that person to see if they come up. If you see their car in the parking lot, you associate them with the theft, you can actually go search for that same license plate number, and then find any instance where that license plate was detected in the parking lot, and then you can go find any other instances where maybe they stole, and add that to the case manager to be able to create a document that you can provide to the police. This device also will do cool things that augments the AI functionality on the AI cameras by doing things like transcribing speech events. So if you have an AI camera, it will allow, with audio on it, it will allow for transcription of those AI cameras into speech events, which is pretty cool. This also adds facial recognition license plate detection for the G4, G5 series cameras. So it does augment that functionality of, but what's different about this than the port does basically real time converts that camera into AI camera, whereas this is going to do this after the fact. If you have a lot of foot detection events and only one of these devices, it's going to queue up and it's going to take some time, whereas the AI port is going to convert in camera as if it's a real time and AI camera. This also does it can be used to sharpen facial recognition images for enhanced identification, so to augment that facial detection. So this device basically is installed you start with one of these per site, and it can do a certain number, like 1,000 detection events per hour. It's hard to estimate what that is for number of cameras for obvious reasons. It depends on every site's different. If you have a lot of traffic in a site, you might need 3 of these for your deployment. But it's pretty easy to figure that out in the software. I'll show you what that looks like. But I think this AI key is a really exciting product. One of the things that's important for you to explain to your customers when selling this product is there's a lot of products out there that do AI processing on video security, but what they do is they often require video footage to be stored in the cloud. And this AI detection algorithm is running on this footage in a cloud computing scenario. What's great about this is that this is not done in the cloud, so it's all the footage can be locally hosted for security's sake. But what it also means is that you don't have to pay licensing fee to maintain that. We buy this device once, and it's going to do the computing locally and scalably to whatever scale you need. And if you don't need it, you don't need to pay for it. And I think that's an important thing to know about our business model. It's different than some other vendors out there. We're not forcing you on the cloud, and we're not forcing you to pay for these features unless you need them. So if you want this feature, add on an AI key. If you think you're good without the AI detection, that's okay too. You can still use Protect. We basically have these modular options now to get whatever you need for your deployment. All right. So I'm sure we'll have plenty of questions about this. Maybe Pedro, do you want to see if there's any questions right now I can answer about these? I figure this might be a good time to talk about the AI key and AI port.
Sure. There are a few questions here. There's three of them here, Andrew. The first one is I have a question about UniFi Protect. I have my cameras in my UDM Pro, but recently I bought the UNVR and want to record my cameras in this new UNVR. Do I have to delete my cameras from the UDM Pro first and then adopt in my UNVR?
So you can to migrate cameras. You can actually, I recommend using the UniFi Protect app. We have a document on our help center that explains how to move cameras from one console to another. It's pretty easy with the UniFi Protect app specifically. So you just need to be on that network, or you just need to open up that Protect app, have access, and it's going to be easy for you to migrate cameras from one console to another that way. That's what I recommend.
Okay, okay. Here's another one. I am a retired IT. I have the UniFi Console UDM SE. The IPS software is not free, however, it is $99 a subscription. Did I miss something here?
Yeah, so it is free. It is free. Sorry, which device did he say he was using?
UDM SE?
Yeah, UDMSC. We have a base. This is an important thing to note. We do offer subscription-based features, but the reason that we offer it in this case, so we have a base IDS IPS platform that doesn't cost anything. That's free. It's using proof points like community level, like open source definitions platform. We offer a paid model for those cybersecure for the people who want something better, something more enterprise than that. So what this is important to note because we're not actually creating these, we're not inventing these IDS, IPS definitions ourselves. We're using a third-party provider that's trusted with Proofpoint. But because that service costs a fee, we're basically making it to where if you want to use their extra service, their more premium service, you can do so. We're just creating a platform in which you can subscribe to that. That's still very affordable. So that's the idea. You don't have to pay for that for base IPS, IDS detections and all that. If you want anything more than that, then there is going to be a subscription fee, and we offer two levels of that. I think it's cyber secure and cyber secure enterprise. Okay, but again, it's not required on the base level. I know products out there that do make you pay for that, make you pay an extra license if you want to use that. We are not one of those products.
Okay, and here's one that's more for us here at Flytech. Will Flytech provide pre-sale services for Protect or Network or any of the UniFi products? And that's a yes. We do have in-house technical support and pre-sale support for UniFi.
Great.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's all we have for now, Andrew.
All right, sounds good. We'll move on then. Just to note those, I already talked about the AI Pro, the AI Dome, and the AI Turret, but just so you can see in greater detail that micro SD slot I'm talking about, these are really nice cameras, and I do recommend these cameras for any deployment. We also have the ability, like I mentioned, because we're locally hosted, there are some cases where you do want to actually back up everything to a cloud drive. This can be an option that this can be a way that you can deal with lower amount of storage space. So like if you're using the UDM Pro with one hard drive bay, you have maybe 10 cameras, but you want more retention, you can actually set it up to sync automatically to one of these sources, including a NAS. We offer our own NAS that you can sync to. You can also sync to a third-party NAS device, which can be local. We also can sync to a cloud drive like a Google Drive, OneDrive, or Dropbox. So this is a really easy way for you to manage and those recordings and scale. But I just wanted to know that. So if you do want to have backups, that's an option for you. We also have this platform, the Alarm and Sensor Manager. I wanted to point out, I'll show you some. We're going to do a demo today of a real deployment of the AI features and everything. But I just want to show you that basically you can create for all the triggers we're going to talk about today with like natural language search, where you search for, a black Toyota with this license plate. You can actually set up custom alarms and notifications for any criteria within the app. So for instance, if it sees a facial detection of a former employee, maybe that's a disgruntled employee, you can have it set up to do a push notification, create a webhook, initiate a sound or a light, whatever you want to do. But these are just nice to give you custom options for how you want to handle anything. This allows you to better manage your environment proactively, and especially with the use of the AI features, it means that you're going to be able to have real-time control and knowledge over what's going on in your environment. What's cool is you can set this up with webhooks and have a ticket created on your platform. Like if you're managing this for a customer and you want to basically know anytime that a camera is offline, you can have it set up to automatically give you a notification, and then you can use that to create a ticket or create a webhook that creates a ticket automatically in your system. So that's all to help you scale better. We also have this feature, the case manager, which I want to note specifically with the AI functionality. This is really helpful when you're using that natural language search to search for like all events related to a theft. You can find all those camera footage, save it to a case manager, and you can create a person of interest with facial recognition, put them in this profile, and find all the detections related to them. But this is a good way for you to be able to compile like a theft event or a high security, like a need to document something like this. You can create a case and then export this, download this footage in a zip file or archive it to the cloud. So these are a nice feature that we have, and I just want to note that. But that's all I have to share with slides. I'm going to use the rest of the portion to do a demo, and then we'll have more time for Q&A. But I do want to just take a moment to share some essential UI resources that I recommend you guys use. So just so you know, I mentioned the site manager today. That's this link here. You can find here. If you guys want to take a screenshot, you're welcome to take a screenshot of this right now. But I do recommend all these resources you're familiar with. We also offer a design tool, which, this is really important for networking, but it's also important for physical security. So we allow you to basically lay out a customer deployment. Let's say you're planning to deploy I spoke to a company today that does physical security network deployments in sports bars. So if they wanted to outline one of their sports bars, they're going to be putting one of these installs in. They can go upload the floor plan, place the products they want to sell to this customer, and simulate the coverage of the network, including the access point coverage. You can actually use put the composition materials of the walls, like if it's a cement wall or if it's a drywall wall, it will affect the coverage of the access points. What's cool is you can also use cameras, and when you draw the walls, you can see what the actual view of the cameras will be based on the angle of the camera you've chosen. So this is a really good way for you to basically get an idea, show for a customer how expansive the coverage that you propose will be in terms of helping them see what's going on in their environment, and will give them a real idea of what the viewing angle is going to be of those cameras. So check out this tool, use that. I won't mention all these other things, but the tech specs is one specifically you want to know to be able to get. You can create custom comparison between different camera models if you're trying to decide which one to purchase. Just check out this tech specs. You can build your own custom table there. But I'll leave the rest of these links. I hope everyone's had a chance to catch that. But this is the last slide I'll cover, and I'll switch over now to my lab. Okay. All right, so today let me show you. This is actually running on an enterprise network video recorder. That's the 16 hard drive bay. One thing to note: this has an internal SSD drive that the database is on, and it makes the management experience especially snappy and sharp, low latency. You'll note in this case I'm actually connecting to an install in a grocery store in Costa Rica. So despite the fact I'm connecting across the world, this is through the cloud service. I'm able to access this securely through that free cloud service. If you look here on the cloud, so I can see these two AI keys that we have in their deployment. I'll show you all their sites. So these are all the cameras they have deployed. They have several cameras here set up, and you can see them all, different models and everything. We have some that are, we have the AI 360, we have the turret, we have the AI turret, the instant, and so on. But I also can show you the AI keys here to show you what the management. So I've adopted these devices that now appear here, and I can see here, this is how many cameras this is currently performing this functionality with. 26 cameras on this AI key, and it's processed in the last 24 hours. It's processed 12,896 detection events from the cameras. That's pretty impressive. Right now, it's 25 detections in queue. You see them rolling in real time. And this gives us some basic information about this device. We can actually see what the CPU and GPU performance is. Can you see here how the CPU during the daytime hours is dramatically higher? We're still well within the limits of what we'd expect, but you can see here the CPU during daytime is much higher because there's when all the detection events are happening. It's seeing much more things with the cameras, more people coming to this business, and you can see that drop down during the evenings. This is a way that you can identify whether you have too many cameras maybe for one AI key. And if they turn on all the features here, like if I turn on speech to text, facial recognition, face enhancement, I would expect that this would increase dramatically the amount of resources required. So that's just one thing to know. If you're going to use this, just consider how much you're planning on doing, and then decide how many AI keys you need. In this case, for all those cameras we saw there, 2 AI keys is sufficient because they're basically just doing computer vision enhancement, and they can select which cameras they want to do it for. So you can see here the ones that they've selected. All right, let's go ahead and look, and I'll show you now this is what the playback looks like. I can go to the dashboard, get a dashboard of all the cameras here. This is in real time here. Costa Rica, like how cool is this? This is I can see the beach from here, right? But this is a nice thing about how low latency our cloud service is. It's very easy to check in on devices, and you can even see like with this device, this is a pan, tilt, and zoom camera. I think you can see me panning. I'm just hitting the button here with myself, and this is in real time. So look how quick that responsive that is. Uh, Pretty awesome. And that's something that, again, I'm going across to a different country and it's that responsive. I'm hitting the button right now. There you go. That's how it takes maybe a few milliseconds, and there it is. But yeah, very responsive. You can see the physical zoom on this. Like this is the AI PTZ camera. Like you can see in real time how snappy it is and how responsive it is. If you want to zoom in, yeah. There you go. So that's a pretty impressive demo of this EMVR and kind of our platform, but I do think you'll find it's very impressive. And you can set up all the things like patrols, person tracking, and so on. But I want to mainly show you guys. I just want to show you some example of the cameras and work. Let's go look at the natural language search, which is what this AI key adds to the equation. Okay, so if I go into this AI key here, I can go look at this. It's going to have all the detection events here. Let's say I want to search for a black Toyota SUV. Okay, I'll go search that. Let me hit enter here. And there you go. There you have it. I'm looking at all the detection events that have recorded in the last from January 2nd onwards, uh, which is, yeah, it's a long time, for black Toyota SUVs. And you can see here the certainty level. This is requiring a match confidence of 50% or higher. So you can see here as it goes down, the confidence level is decreasing a little bit. I think it's still pretty solid so far. Like these all look to be Toyota SUVs. Maybe it's the same one that drives by a lot. But you can start to see, oh, well, this one's gray maybe. So this maybe isn't 100% detection. You can see this one's burgundy, but it is a Toyota SUV. So you can see as they go down, the certainty level of this goes down. And this is one way we're always training this and improving this process. It should improve over time. But this is a really helpful thing. You can go click on any of these events, and I can go see now the camera event. It's going to go access the camera event associated with this detection. There you go. I can see it where it's at, where it's happening, and play back that easily. Let's try another search, okay? How about something very specific, like a person with an orange shirt and a green bag? Let's try that out. See here we got examples of a guy wearing an orange shirt and a green bag. In this case, this guy has a green backpack. It's a little different color green, but you can see the level of certainty here very high on this one where it's very up close up front. But as we go down, we have less certain orange shirts, but maybe no green bag. But there's green things being detected, I think, that basically make that more likely, or maybe this guy's green shirt. But in any case, you can actually train these yourself by going in. If you're the owner of this, you can go ahead and report a false detection, and then it will basically train this as time goes on. But you can see how useful this is. And again, it's just that easy to find the detection event. And you can see which camera where it's happening at. This is the PTZ camera. So you see it tracking the person's movement as they move to the organization or through the deployment. And yeah, this is how powerful a feature this is. I'm really, and it goes back to normal after it's finished and sits back watching what it normally does. Okay. But yeah, this is all the features I think that make this really powerful. And I won't show you all the other things you can do with it, like the transcription and everything. But I just want to say that I do think that this is very helpful for a lot of deployments. And I think you'll find for the price point, it's very reasonable. So yeah, so I think any questions for me about this? What I'm looking at, I can show you a few other examples. Let's look at a person wearing a cowboy hat, maybe. Well, so we got some hats. Some of them are more cowboy hats than others, but you can see how quickly it responds and searches these, and then I can go through and look at all these events. But yeah, I think it's important to think about in a customer use case scenario. So if a customer has a case where someone they had a fight, an altercation, they can just search for the person, the clothing that they're wearing at the time of the altercation. You can be very specific, like you can search like short person or tall person wearing a black hat and a red shirt. You can get very specific with it. And I found that you can even say some very obscure things like, someone who looks angry, and it will find do some searching on that. So this is a cool thing. Lots of interesting use case you can use with this. But test it out, try it, see what you think. But I'm pretty excited about what this represents. I mentioned, yeah, go
Excuse
ahead.
me, Andrew. Somebody's asking how about zooming in to see the face or the license plate?
Yeah, so let's see what we can do here. Okay. So here we have a license plate detection. This is in real time on a camera. So let's go ahead. Oh, it's actually a pass here, but let's go ahead and see. It's pulled off the license plate number here. So let's go ahead and do this. It's still indexing it's going to take a minute because it's still processing that. I can go to an older one. Uh, let's go ahead and search through here. Let's just go license plate detection here. We can do this under vehicles. This is that same one I was just looking at. So you can see here, this is actually a lot of times it's showing you the zoomed in version of the footage already. So you see from that thumbnail here. So that's how fast it's going. Now this isn't playing in the full resolution. You can change it to high quality here for more detail, but it's automatically pulling that license plate, zooming in on it for us so we can see it in full detail while the footage isn't that zoomed in, right? So you can see in all these pictures and see this is the AI LPR, the LPR camera. This is what I was talking about with the nighttime detection, where you wouldn't be able to detect that with the normal camera typically. So let's see this. Let's see this event. You can see what the AI, yeah, look at that. So yeah, it's really nice. You can go back through if you want to zoom in on it. Of course, you can zoom in on these cameras after the fact. You can customize what you're zooming in on. You can pause in the process and then zoom in here. You can see here. There we go. So there you can see I can zoom in on that license plate number and see that. So yeah, it gives you an idea of what you can do. And then of course you can do this to add to a case. So I mentioned how you could create a case report. You can download the event. You can take a snapshot, all sorts of other things, and you build up whole profiles based on the license plate detection there. Uh, like this is detecting the pop by on their dashboard there. You see that it's pulling that off instead of the number, but uh, definitely a powerful tool and something that's interesting. Check out and see if you know how you can use it in your environments. All right, other questions
Somebody
for me?
somebody just asked, how did you get the search to appear?
So the search appears with the use of the AI key. You have to add on the AI key, that product. I'll show you. Oops. Let me switch here. AI key. So I can show you this product. Some information that's on our help desk. But I can also show you on our store real quick, just so you can see the product, what it prices at, and of course you can buy this through FlyTech. Uh, it will be available. It's currently out of stock as we just launched it, but this is just basic information on the product. We can get technical specs and so on. But yeah, it's $679 for one of these. It adds that on for the deployment, and it can process up to 1,000 smart detection events per hour. So in that case, we saw that it's able to handle like 20 something cameras on one of those. We also sell with a rack mount too that you can add on, but this device itself is going to be what's going to augment that with natural language search. That's all you need to add on to get this. Now, if you have cameras that aren't AI cameras, the AI port is this device. It's going to convert that device into an AI camera and make it better. You know, actually, the AI key can take G4, G5 cameras and give them, you know, retroactively add the AI detections onto it, but it's not going to be able to improve the AI functionality in the same way that AI port could. Any questions about these two?
Well, here's an interesting question for the search function. Somebody is asking here, can it tell if someone's has stolen an item off a shelf?
I think it's very difficult, I would say, to be able to specify if it was being stolen or being purchased, right? Because you're going to take it, you're going to put it into your bag or whatever. I guess it would be if they walk out. So I think uh, it's unlikely that you'd be able to detect it that way. Typically, most often it's going to happen with a report, and then you can be able to find those events manually through honing down based on other description criteria. Now, maybe in the future that will be possible. I don't know, and maybe you're able to improve that or find ways to use that natural language search to do that. Like maybe, well, you can see if let's go back to this. I'll go back to the. So maybe you could search for someone putting like you can search for maybe someone putting something into their pocket or a person putting items into bag. Maybe that will come out. So yeah, you can see this person is just putting the items into a bag. Now again, these are their shopping bags, so this is what we expect. But you can see how you could use this potentially to identify. Now this looks like it's doing a pocket of bag, but not. I mean, I'm sure you'd find some in here that would be their pockets.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but definitely could be helpful for finding thefts and identifying those. But yeah, I think you'll have to test it out and see what you can find. I mean, I find you can search all sorts of things like and you might find some of those terms work better than others. And I think that's the thing with AI. Sometimes knowing how to search things in the best way to get the result you want is an important skill to have. But yeah, we'll work on improving this all the time, I'm sure. And a case manager I mentioned, you can create a case here. You know, dangerous suspect. Jamie created these ones. Suspect seen fleeing. Suspect seen walking away from scene before riding bicycle with weapon in hand. You can add on the, uh, you know, the camera footage from that, and so on. This is really kind of cool use case. Yeah, just going to create a create a new case, and we can go add the assets and find anything and add it to a case here and create a new case. You also can create persons of interest, so this can be helpful for when you're doing facial detection. You see all this suspect one here, so on, and we can build up facial profiles. You can classify these into known people, and it will group all the classifications into one view. So you see we have Francisco here, all Francisco's footage, so on. All right. Other questions for me while I got this lab up? Anyone wants to know about?
Some questions here related. Do you have the camera software that can run in a VM or just the hardware?
It's going to run on our dedicated hardware. That's the thing to know. You're going to always need to run it on a console of whatever sort. And we can search for dogs, but we can, basically, it's going to be locally hosted and managed on that device that you're going to store the footage on. We don't support on networking. We support, you can use your own software install. I don't recommend it again because it's not going to be as good of an experience because you have to deal with, especially in large deployments, scaling up resources. And it's just very plug and play to use a cloud gateway. You don't have to pay anything extra to have that software experience. If you compare it to the UXG products that don't have the software hosting, it's not any more affordable. It's just going to be a lot more convenient. Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. What is the best practice with using a third-party UniFi hosting versus official UniFi hosting? What about quick differences? Best practice. Hosting
that's
versus a cloud key or a gateway?
Yeah, so let me just know with our cloud key. A cloud key is just a different console. A lot of confusion sometimes happens. People wonder, do I need a cloud key to access the cloud? No, you do not. You buy any UniFi product, as long as you have a device to manage it on that has the software. So if it's Protect, you have to have an MVR. You could have a cloud key. That could be your option to choose, or you could have a cloud gateway or an MVR. There's no cloud infrastructure for the Protect software. But for network, there is cloud. We offer our own cloud hosting, which just makes it really easy. You can go in here to the site manager. I've got some cases here. You can go into official hosting instances. It's just something as simple as creating a new instance. You subscribe to it, and then you can go ahead and adopt those devices onto that site. You just plug in this network and then be able to add them here. You can see here's my cloud subscription and everything. I can go in here to subscribe at the site manager. You can go ahead and add site, create a cloud hosting interface, a cloud hosting instance, and so on. So you can see here, these are the plans that you subscribe to. Again, I recommend focusing on the hybrid cloud method unless you have a specific use case to use this. Like let's say you're installing a bunch of small offices that have 3 APs at them. Maybe that's fine. But I generally think it's the best experience to have a locally managed device, a console, either cloud gateway, or if it's Protect or physical security, an MVR, or both. That's going to be typically the best experience, I think. Just let me say real quick about the third-party hosting. You can manage it through third-party hosting or through us directly. I think that's totally up to you what you want to do. I just think generally plug and play local installs are going to be better, especially since we've improved this experience on the site manager to where you can even do global permissions for site groups. So I can go in here to this group of deployments. I can manage all my permissions at this level. And I think that's an important thing to note because that's some benefits that you get out of using those locally hosted sites. It's just going to be a lot more easy. Whereas I think there's really not a lot of benefits that come from managing in the cloud versus locally. And I'd say there's more benefits to doing it locally. It's more scalable and it's more affordable too.
Okay, here's another question, Andrew. We're almost running out of time. I have an AI Pro camera, and I have a
Mhm.
situation where I need to grab a stream out of this camera that has to be in the format 640 by 480. I see that this camera provides 3 additional streams, but they are not 640 by 480. Is there any way that I can accomplish this?
I think what you would do is you'd have to download the footage and then use some conversion app to convert that to the resolution that you require. You can do video compression, video processing that would reduce that to the resolution that you want.
Okay. Let's have maybe one last question. Somebody is asking, let's say I have a site with 10 G4 or G5 non-AI cameras. What are the pro cons of the AI port on all cameras versus the AI key?
Yeah, so I'd say that's a great question. I think the key difference is just real time. So with the AI key, you're going to be able to convert all those camera footage, those detection events. So if it has a smart detection, let's just say that it's a person, so you don't have to have a camera to be able to do person detection. So you can see here, this is a person detection. It's not applying any facial recognition, but as long as the camera is capable of doing that, so any G4, G5 camera can do that, then what will happen is that the AI key will go process all these footage and puts them in a queue, and then it processes them, and then it goes and applies the facial recognition criteria to it after some time. Okay, the difference between that and the AI port's going to convert those cameras to being real time detections. So as they come in, if as they're coming in like through the playback, it'll give you real time detections, AI detections of things that will show up here. So like you know, let's see, like the audio detections for one thing that you can only do with the AI cameras. And then we also, anytime it does facial recognition or uh, or license plate recognition here on this view, it's going to be in real time with the AI port, whereas it's going to take time to queue through the videos with the AI key. But usually it'll be there pretty quickly. I don't think there's a huge difference. I think for most cases, the AI key would be adequate. If you don't need instant playback of like this this license plate detection like this, then you'd be fine with the AI key probably. I think the
Oh,
main benefit of the AI port, I would say, would be if you have a third party camera, that's the only way that you're going to be able to do AI processing on was the AI port. So if you're using OnViv, let's say you have a specific camera that we don't offer a model for. Like I spoke to someone that works in a casino, they need a camera that has higher refresh rate than our cameras do when they're looking at the tables to make sure someone's not stealing. They could use a third party camera and then use the AI port to convert that into AI, and that would still give them the same benefits of that other platform. If they need to watch that footage in real time or whatever, but it would also be able to convert that over to AI camera. So that's going to be the main thing I would say would be it's just real time versus after the fact it's being processed in a queue, like I showed you earlier. Uh, that's going to be the main difference. So I don't think in most cases you need an AI port and an AI key, but I will note that for like facial or for audio, you will require if you want to use a G4 or G5 camera, you want the transcription, you would need an AI port and AI key to convert those over because that feature is only on the AI cameras.
very good, very good. Any final comments on your end, Andrew, before I give mine? We're almost at the hour.
No, I just thank everyone for being here today. I think it can be very confusing to know the difference, but
Mhm.
check it out from our website. We have some FAQs there, and I'm sure FlyTech can help you answer those questions if you have any more. But I think it's a pretty exciting time to test this out. Try it on one of your sites and see what your customer thinks. And I think you'll find this might be something you can sell moving forward. Just enhance the capability of the deployment. But thanks everyone for your time. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much, Andrew. This was a very interesting presentation. We have a lot of Ubiquiti UniFi products coming in many containers. Thank you. Thank you for your time today.
See you everyone. Bye bye.
Okay, goodbye.